Today's video is brought to you by etmerchng.com. Click the link in the description below to shop premium Niger-inspired merchandise. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. My name is AyoT, and this is EaglesTracker, the home of Nigerian footballers. With me, I have a special guest, a player for the Super Falcons of Nigeria, a new player for the Super Falcons. Please introduce yourself to us.
Hi, my name is Nicole Payne. I'm glad to be here with you tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, Nicole. It's a pleasure to have you. I just want to talk to you for maybe 30 minutes, get to know you a little bit better, talk about your background, your upbringing, what it's like to be a Nigerian player born in the USA, what it's like to play the national team with your sister. That's an interesting topic that I want to talk about a little bit more. And also just you're a young player, so people would like to know what the future holds for you and what some of your plans for your career are. So let's just get right into it. I want to start by asking you a few questions about yourself and your upbringing. Um, like I mentioned, we know that you were born in the States, but can you just give us a little bit of flesh to the little that we know?
Yeah, no. I was born in Alabama. Um, yeah, I have a brother and a sister. Tony, obviously, who's on the team now with us. And then I have a brother who was playing overseas for a little bit, and now he's back in the States doing his thing, and he's also playing. We grew up kind of all practicing together. I was a little bit younger than the rest. Me and my sister are 6 years apart, and me and my brother are 4 years apart. So I was a little bit younger than them, but we all grew up training together, and that's kind of how this whole soccer thing started. Um, our dad was a big soccer trainer and a big soccer fanatic, so he was kind of the one who got us into soccer together with, and he's continued to develop us and just help us learn the game. So it's
Yeah.
great.
And for you being the youngest one, do you, and this is a trick question, there's no right or wrong answer. Do you think your love for the sports was natural, or was it something that your dad was doing it, your brother was doing it, your sister was doing it, so kind of you just had to do it and then you grew to love it? Or do you think even if you didn't have your siblings and your father, would you still have fallen in love with the game?
Yes, I do think that obviously my family was a big influence, but I also do have my own separate love for the game. I grew up obviously watching uh, the game and like some players in it, and
Yeah.
then after that, it just kind of like clicked, and it was my turn to start and do what I needed to do. So
Yeah. And I guess that kind of takes me to my next question. Who are some of the players that you looked up to when you were younger? Who did you watch on YouTube? A lot. I know I did that when I was young. Who are some of the players that you really tried to maybe model your game after?
yeah, so with the position I play, I kind of narrowed it down to outside backs. I know I watched a lot of um, Trent Alexander-Arnold. I just like the way that he gets involved in the game. His balls are always on a dime.
Oh
It's one
man.
thing that I always admired and wanted to be able to do. And then on the women's side of the game, I think Lucy Bronze, who plays in England, I think that was one person who on the women's side I also looked up to and just watched how she got involved into attack and then how she was able to defend as well. So yeah.
And I believe you're still in. So let me know before I get into your education. Um, so when at what stage was it that you started to take football or soccer seriously? Most of us, especially Nigerians, people back in Nigeria, especially, they all played the game. They all wanted to be professionals. But I mean, you get to a stage you realize, okay, it's not going to happen.
Right.
When did you realize like this thing was really serious and I need to put like a lot of effort into it?
Yeah, I think when I got into the sixth grade, the sixth or seventh grade, around 13, that was when my dad and my mom decided that I would play, like, I wouldn't play for like my small club team in Alabama anymore, and I would move to a more competitive team in Atlanta for Concord. I think that's kind of when it started to get a lot more serious, and I started going to um, more practices, and I started training more with my dad and developing and stuff like that. So I think around sixth or seventh grade or 13, 12, 13 is when it started to get a lot more serious.
Is anybody watching this video, and they have never seen Nicole play, how would you describe yourself as a football player to them?
I like to say someone who has, for the most part, a lot of energy. So I just sort of recently started to get into the attack a lot. I like to go forward. I was a forward before by nature, so I think attacking is kind of my blood. But I think someone who like tactically knows the game pretty well, and I just think my biggest thing is making an impact. So whatever I can do, maybe get a shot off, get a cross off, something. I think that's just the biggest thing is just being able to make some type of impact.
Are you a pacey player? Because I know your sister Tony is really quick. Are you just like her?
I try to be. I think so.
Nice, nice. I mean, that's always. I will say, that's something that is almost like it's almost like a cheat code in football or in soccer because
Right.
when you have that pace, like it can really cover up for a lot of deficiencies, a lot of things that you don't have because people really see that pace, and I mean you can use it to beat players. I want to now talk about or ask about your education,
Mhm.
because whenever I speak to American born Nigerian players, mostly because it's in the states that or in North America that we really, I say we because I'm in Canada, that we really follow that student athlete path. In Nigeria, it's not even something that is really, I don't think it's even a term, student athlete. In the UK, it's mostly like the academy path, the professional academy.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
for you, and if correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you're still in university.
Yes, I am still in university.
Yes, you're a junior.
Yes, I am a junior. Yep.
Yes. So can you just tell us what school do you go to? What are you studying, and what is life like as a student athlete for you?
Yeah. So I currently attend West Virginia University. I am a psychology major, and I'd say it's a pretty busy life. So a typical day for me would be if I have lift in the morning, I'll go to lift at around 6:30 a.m. and then I'll come back, get ready for my class at 8 or 9. From there, I'll go straight to practice, and then if we have lift after, I'll go straight to lift. Then I'll probably eat dinner. If we have a team meeting later on, I'll go to a team meeting, and then I'll spend most of my time after that probably doing homework or studying or something like that. So, I mean, the days are pretty packed, but there are always some little areas where there's some free time. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So,
And from your point of view, what would you say are some of the pros and cons of being a student athlete? Like if a young
mm,
boy, young girl in Nigeria was watching this video and was considering like, should I actually go to the USA and get into school, or should I just go straight chasing a professional career because it's two different pathways in a sense? What
yep,
would you say are the pros and cons of playing in college?
yep. I think one of the biggest things for me is education. I know knowledge is, everything in today's day and age, and I always have been taught that education is the key to everything and that it can unlock so many like pathways and doors. So one thing that I've always learned is as much as I love soccer, there are times when I've obviously gone through some injuries and like there can be setbacks, and I mean soccer's not going to be forever, so I think education is important, but I also do have a love I have a love for soccer. So at the end of the day, like it's always been a dream to play pro soccer and pursue a career in it. So I think taking chances. I know we just had a past camp and it was kind of tough with school. Obviously, I had to miss a couple weeks of school, but it's always a dream to be able to go and represent a country that you love. So, I mean, you can't pass up those opportunities either. So, I always think there's a way to compromise, and I think they're both very important. But if you really have a love for soccer and soccer's your dream, then you can't be afraid to take risks. So,
Yeah.
it's
And I mean,
honest.
and to me, I think it's literally like it's a Nigerian parent's dream because you know how Nigerian parents love school and want you to go to school. And I
Right.
mean, if your kid is talented enough to get into school on a scholarship to play sports, then
Right.
it's literally the dream. They get the education and they get to play the sports. But what does he? How does he feel to still be in school and be playing for your country? Because
Mhm.
let's be honest, it's not something that's normal. There's
Right.
people that are playing professionally, that are playing for clubs in Europe, around the world, and
Right.
they haven't got the chance to represent the country. How
Mhm.
does that make you feel?
No, it's an honor, you know. Like I said, it's always a dream come true to be able to, represent the country that you have so much love for. I think that again, it's tough when you're in an academic setting and you're having to do both at once. I remember like when I was in high school, middle school, there were plenty of times where I'd miss weeks at a time for soccer tournaments or for national team camps then. But I mean, there's always like you'll always figure it out. There's always an alternative. So I just think that, again, it's not an opportunity that you can pass up, you know? It's one of those things that you just have to take advantage of and you really just have to, go for it. So,
Yeah, nice. You mentioned earlier when I asked the question that you're a psychology major. So other than playing football, I'm sure you have dreams to after college, play a pro career and play a long career.
mhm.
But do you have any plans to work, in the field as a psychologist, or helping people? I don't know. Do you have any plans with that? To use
Yeah.
it?
No, yeah. So I always thought about like kind of what my career would be if I didn't, pursue soccer or once I end soccer and stuff like that. And I am a psych, like I said, I'm a psych major, but I'm also really into neuroscience. So
Okay.
um, like the clinical neuroscience route. So that works with like brain scans, like different types of disorders, Alzheimer's disease, like stuff like that. And basically, you just look at patients, you scan their brains and see like what would be the best option for them, and then work closely like with some doctors to, like I said, figure out the best option for patients. So it's kind of like my dream, but outside of soccer. But,
Mm.
yeah.
And people that are watching this might be wondering, like, wow, neuroscience. But I'm not too surprised because I know I was reading the profile on your university's page, and they mentioned that you're on the dean's list, and Big 12 commissioners honor roll. So I'm like, yeah, she's a really smart kid. So
Mhm.
it's no surprise that you're into brain stuff and the smart kid stuff. That's amazing. Um, that's amazing. Okay. I now want to ask you a couple questions about Nigeria. You know, this is something that whenever there's a new foreign-born player in the team, people are always curious, to know how much of a connection the person actually has with Nigeria. How
Right.
much does the person actually know about Nigeria? I mean, it's all light-hearted fun, but at the same time, people want to know that you're a true Omo Niger. Um, so yeah, I just have a few questions to ask. First of all, where are you from in Nigeria exactly?
Yes. So, my sister and I claim Ibadan because that's where my mom is from. I know you're probably going to laugh at me about the pronunciation, but yeah. And then my dad is from Lagos. So, I guess one of those
But
two
you came
places.
Ibadan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How many places in Nigeria have you visited? Or actually, before this camp that you were just in Nigeria, had you ever been?
Yes. Well, this past camp was my second time in Nigeria. So basically, I've been to Abuja twice.
Okay, you've been to Abuja twice, and I
Yeah.
guess okay, then I'll ask you, what are your thoughts of Abuja so far? Then?
No, I thought it was great. It's very warm there from where I am at my university. So, yeah, I had a little bit of a temperature shock, but no, overall, I loved it and I loved the experience. And, it was so cool to be able to go for the first time because obviously, like I said, I had never been before. Tony had gone previously, she had been to Lagos, and then um, like the camp in November was her first time in Abuja. But no, it was great, and it was cool to be there also, like with my sister as well. So it was something that we got to experience together. So it's
Nice.
super cool.
And I mean, I know you were there on official duty, for
Mhm.
serious business.
Right.
But did you get to maybe try some food that you wanted to try? Did you get to see something that you wanted to see? Well,
Yeah, so we actually this past camp that we just had in February when the tournament was over, we actually went out to a restaurant called Tartar and it was a cool place. It was really great. decorations and everything were super cool, and then just like hung out and talked and stuff. So it was really cool. But that's the only place I've really been outside of Abuja. But I mean, not outside of Abuja, in the city a little bit. But other than that, I haven't been really been able to see much. So
Mm. Okay. But when you have the time, maybe on holiday, to actually go to Nigeria and spend some time, are there any places that you have on your list that you would love to visit?
um, I really want to go to Lagos. So I just told you I've been to Abuja twice. So I think I would like to see what Lagos has to offer. So yeah, I think hopefully when my whole family is back together. I know my brother's he's in the States, but he's a little bit further away from me. But I think once we are all able to go to Nigeria, I think Lagos would be the time to be. I know we have family there on my dad's side, and then on my mom's side, we have my one of my cousins is also in Abuja. So
Oh, nice. And what kind of vibe do you typically like? Are you someone that likes like busy city, hustle and bustle, or do you
mhm,
like calmness, and quiet?
yeah. So in Alabama, I'm from the suburbs, so I'm not exactly from the city, but I always loved the city. So again, my club team was based out of Atlanta, which is a pretty busy city, and I've
Yeah.
always loved it. So I guess I'm a city girl at
Yeah,
heart.
I'm asking because like Lagos and Abuja are like two different
Right.
kind of places. Lagos is
Mhm.
vibe. There's something going on every night. It's noisy, it's loud, but it's
Right.
Lagos and everybody
Mhm.
loves it. Whereas Abuja is more like serious, it's
Right.
calm. You know,
Exactly.
but yeah, both places are great. Okay, so still talking about Nigeria. Who were some of or who are some of the Nigerian football players that you look up to? That inspire you.
Mhm. Um, for the most part, on the women's side, um, 100% May. Like being able to like play with her for the short period of time that I've been able to play with her, I've learned so much just from like the amount of knowledge that she has. She's been very helpful with the back line and just with the knowledge that she has. Um, I've just been able to grow and learn from the short period of time that I've known her. So that is for sure one person that I look up to and strive to be like. So yeah.
That's great. I mean, it's great. She's been 5 times at the World Cup.
Right.
She's by far the most experienced African women's player in the world. So
Mhm.
it's really an amazing. I can only imagine the kind of knowledge that she's passing off just in training and during games, just talking to you. So
Right.
that's a good one. And
Right.
what was it like? Now talking about the camp that just passed in February. What was it like? Being part of a team that was going for a mission. I know you had been in the team in the past when we played, the summer series, but it was a friendly series. It wasn't so serious. This time it was AFCON or the women's AFCON qualifiers against Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast stopped us from going to the Olympics in 2020. Or
Right.
so we know that Ivory Coast is a strong team, and the women's AFCON is also what helps you to qualify for the Women's World Cup, which is coming up in 2023. So
Right.
this was a very serious, two games that we played. Um, what was it like for you to be a part of this camp?
No, it was amazing. We all had obviously we had learned that background before that. Ivory Coast was the one to knock us out. So I think we all kind of had like that goal in mind that these games were must win. We knew that we weren't going to lose back to back. We knew that we had a game plan and we were going to execute it. So there was no question on if we were going to go out and give our best or if we were scared or anything like that. No, it was we knew like what we had to do and we knew like we were gonna we were gonna get it done. So it was great.
And I mean, and what else is there to say except congratulations to you. Now you've qualified. You're heading to the first. Hopefully, you're part of the squad. That's selected for
Mhm.
the women's AFCON coming up in Morocco. Um, what would it be like, for you to go to the tournament to represent your country, and
Mhm.
hopefully, what would it be like for you?
Right now, I've seen visuals in the past and pictures in the past of Nigeria holding up that trophy. So it's always in the back of my mind, like, oh my gosh, I want to be part of that team or contribute to that team that's holding up this new trophy this year.
Yeah,
So no, it mean the world. Um, I mean,
yeah.
again, it's exciting, especially with my sister. It's one of those moments that you cherish forever. So.
You look at men's football and you look at women's football. You don't get
Mhm.
to see many siblings who get the opportunity to play together, at the same time for their national teams. It just doesn't happen that often. There's a few that we know of in Nigeria, like the Uche brothers play together. Currently, we have yourself and your sister, both representing the Super Falcons. How does that feel to have someone that is, and people always say like the team is like family, but this is not like family. She's
Right.
actual family. So how does that feel?
Mhm. Yeah, no, again, it's super cool just because again, I told you we grew up, playing together and training together, but we never actually played together. So obviously with the 6 year difference, so that was never really in the question or going to happen. So, it's just like kind of like a dream come true to be able to, you know, play with your sister or any of your siblings. Um, and do something that you love. So, I mean, to me, it's just like a blessing, and it's one of those opportunities that you don't see very often. So, again, it's just amazing to be able to do. So,
Yeah. Okay. And final question about the national team. Um, Other than your sister, who would you say is the best friend that you've made in the
yeah.
sport right
Ooh, I can't. I don't know if I can name just one. There's so many. I know Amanda and Monday are like two people I love
now?
wholeheartedly.
I mean, to be fair, I know
So,
Monday. Like I've never met her. I've never actually spoken to her. But
mhm,
everybody that I talk to is like, "Oh man, Monday is such a vibe. Like she's so fun to be around. She's always
no,
dancing and all that stuff."
right. hmm
That's
Yep.
that's that's
Monday, Akudo, those are other people that, yeah, I love them. And then obviously I have Ashley's always the life of the party, Michelle, Esther, Ify, like I honestly love everyone to death. So I can't really pinpoint one best friend because honestly, everyone's my best friend out here. So yeah.
that's that's great. Okay, and okay, final question. I lied. This is the final one now about the national team. So you played for the USA at youth level.
Mhm.
You played for the USA at the, I think, on the 17, on the 19. I'm not sure if you played at other levels as well. But now you're representing Nigeria at the highest level. People would like to know, was this, a tough decision that you had to make? Was it something that you had to think about? Or was it a no-brainer to represent Nigeria at the highest level?
No, it was something that I had always thought about last summer. I was actually talking to my college coach about it and changing my nationality because I knew that was something that I wanted to do. So she, was very helpful with the situation as well and was able to talk to me and give me advice and what I should do. But at the end of the day, I knew it was the right choice for me and the right decision to make. So again, I was very happy with my decision, and I love every moment of who I'm with now and what I'm doing now. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, we're glad to have you as well. So that's nice.
Mhm.
Okay. And just looking forward to in your career. I know you're still in college, like we mentioned. But is there any club in the world that you have right now as a dream club that you would love to play for one day?
Um, on the women's
Maybe
side, it has always been for some reason in the back of my mind. PSG is always. Um,
yeah,
Shout out Keisha and Ashley. They were WVU alums. But I mean, Keisha's at Leo, but Ashley Lawrence, she's at PSG now, and it's always been a dream of mine since I was younger to play there, and I've always looked up to the women who play there and in that league. So, that's I guess my dream club if I were to.
yeah.
So yeah,
And I mean, PSG is a very good team. I mean, we see how they dominate. They and Lyon in the Women's Champions League, so that would obviously
mhm.
be a good team to play for. Okay.
Great.
And I want to ask you. I want to ask you just to wrap things up. I want to ask you a few questions, light-hearted questions. Nothing too serious, just to get to know you a little bit more and have a few laughs. Um, I want to play a game with you. Never have I ever. So, I mean, this is a
Okay.
game you've played it before. Um, I'll,
Yeah.
I'll give you a scenario and you just let us know if it's happened, if you've done it before. So first one, never have I ever been sent off in a game.
Never actually. No, I haven't been sent off in a game.
Okay, clean play. I like that. Never have I ever scored an own goal.
Scored an own goal.
Yeah,
I bet I have honestly when I was no, yes, I bet I have when I was younger, but recently, within my like these past 10 years, no, I've
okay.
not.
So that's within the past 10 years.
No,
Yeah.
not within the past 10 years. I know for sure. So,
Okay. Never have I ever been late to training.
um, that is I have for sure been late to training before. Yes,
That happens to almost
I'll
everybody. So
be
it's
honest.
allowed once in a while. Never have I ever missed an open goal.
I definitely have missed an open goal. I know for a fact I probably have. I think in my club days, at Concord, so like 4, 5, 6 years ago, I definitely have missed at least one sitter. So
Okay. Never have I ever stolen a goal off of my teammates. So you knew the ball was probably already going in, but you still tapped it in.
no, actually no. There have been some moments where I definitely could have like stolen from my teammates, but I'm like, no, no, I
Yeah.
haven't. So
Well, I mean, maybe to be fair, I wouldn't judge you if you have because we know how selfish players can be sometimes. Everybody wants to get on this question. Yeah. Okay. And then final one. Never have I ever gotten myself injured outside or off the pitch. So maybe you were just playing around the house and then you got yourself injured or something.
um, no, not outside of soccer. No, nope, not
Mm.
outside of soccer.
Okay, okay.
So all my injuries
That's
have been soccer related. So
that's a good one because I mean coaches hate it when a player gets hurt off the field. It's like, come on, like what are you doing at home? But yeah, okay. Let's play one more game before we wrap up. This game is Would You Rather. So I'm going to
okay,
give you two scenarios, and you just let us know which one you'd rather. It's that simple. Um,
cool.
would you rather score the winning goal of the World Cup or be the highest goal scorer of the World Cup and you don't win?
Score the winning goal.
Score the winning goal. Okay.
Score the winning 100.
Would you rather be the best player on the worst team in your league or be the worst player on the best team in your league?
Um, be the worst player on the
On the best
best. Yeah, on the best. Yep.
team. Okay. Okay. Um, if you had a chance to take a penalty to win the World Cup for Nigeria, would you take it or would you let someone else take it?
Ooh, man, that's a tough one. Because I normally don't take penalties on my team, but if I had to, if it was me or if no one else was able to take one, I'd have to step up and do it.
Okay, you
So
step up.
great.
Okay. Next one. Would you rather have a long career as an average player or a short career as an amazing player?
I think a long career as an average player.
Yeah, I mean, longevity is important, to be
Right.
honest. Yeah,
Exactly.
everyone wants to have that career.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather play on the same team as your sister and lose, or play against your sister and win?
Play against my sister and win.
Of course. That's the only right answer to me. You always have to play against and win. Yeah. Would you rather score in every home game of the season or score in every away game of the season?
Um, yeah, it's hard.
Sorry?
I'd say score in every away game of the season because away games are important. So I think
But you know, if you score in every home game, your fans will get to absolutely love it.
I know, but at the end of the day, I think it's always hard to win on the road. So if
True.
you score away, then I feel like that's also a big
It's
plus.
yeah, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you rather play 5 consecutive seasons and finish second in the league, or would you join your rivals and win the title with them?
Hmm. Hmm. Might have to join the rivals and win.
That's a tough one, but I know, I can. No one likes being second, so yeah. At some points, you'll just be like, "Come on, guys."
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Would you rather play in the rain or play in the snow?
Ooh, play in the rain.
Nobody likes snow. Yeah.
No.
Would you rather have an award named after you, Nicole Payne Award, or have your own signature football boots?
Um, Own signature football foods for sure.
Your signature boots. If you had your signature boots, what would they be called?
Hmm. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
NP7s,
Wait,
NP40.
that's what I was thinking. I was just about to say that. I was like, no, let me not. Let me not hit that.
But yeah, that's an interesting one. Okay. Would you rather start every game of the season but never play 90 minutes? Or you never start, but you know that you're always going to be on at the end?
Um, oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Um, Wait, so the second one was
So the first one is you always start, but
okay,
you
always
never play 90 minutes. Like you know for sure every game the coach is going to sub you off.
okay.
Or you never start, but you
Mhm.
know for sure the coach is always going to sub you on and you play to the end.
Hmm, that one's hard. I think hmm, I think always being able to sub in again. I'm big on the impact. So if I can come in and make an impact in some way, I think that's the most important to me. So
Mm.
yeah.
Okay. That's a good one. That's a good one. And then my final question on would you rather? I guess the biggest debate that football has today, Messi or Ronaldo? Who would you rather?
So that's my thing. I used to be Team Messi.
Yeah.
I probably jumped on the bandwagon there and was always Team Messi. But now that I've kind of gotten older and seen the two now and like I don't know, just seeing the way both like players play, I honestly would have to be Team Ronaldo.
Team Ronaldo. Wow. Interesting. I
100%.
mean, there's no right or wrong answer in that debate. Everybody's either Team Messi or Team Ronaldo. Honestly, I'm one guy that just I always like to be like, let's just enjoy the both of them. But I
Right.
know no one likes to hear that. You have to
Right.
pick a side. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah. Okay, so that's the end of Would You Rather, and that's the end of our conversation. Thank you very much, Nicole. It's been a pleasure talking to you and getting to know you a little bit better, and just catching up.
Yeah.
Final thing before you go. So If there's any young boy, young girl in Nigeria or abroad, that's watching this video now, what would be your message to them? What do you have to say to the Nigerian fans?
Um, to any young player out there, I'd honestly just say to continue to dream big. Like never give up on your dream. If you have something that you want and something that you want to achieve, I'd say go for it. Risk it all and you know, just do your best. That's all you can do at the end of the day. So that's my biggest advice is, always if you have a dream that you want to be great in whatever it is, whether it's football or um, schools, like anything, I would just say like as long as you're willing to put in the work and go for it, I think anything is possible to achieve. So don't be afraid to go get it. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.